Okay. And so the magic machine tells me that I'm live, and so that I will trust in the magic machine that I am live. Woo! When you get blown off course, we just get back on course. Blame it on the UFO Nazi time traveling aliens. Tolkien study. Hey, how about it, baby? In an alternative timeline where we didn't get blown off course, I had been thinking about someone myself, and on the subject of trying to get people together to play my game with me. The meta RPG, the SSP, TTT, the meta RPG is not about the Voltrum rules, does not require the Voltrum rules, but in this instance has incorporated the Voltrum rules. And it was at this point of incorporating the Voltrum rules that someone had contacted me out of the ether and said, we are joined by Tim Frey, not the person I'm talking about, but another lovely person. Contacted me and said, this thing you're talking about and incorporating it, that the way that you're describing it with this, incorporating it into this microchapbook RPG solo game that you had experimented with and talked about before, seems like something I could dip my toe back into. They had experience with Dungeons and Dragons, but the thought of going back and doing the whole spiel with the whole all the shtick and the big rule books and everything, I said, no. But they said they think they understand what I'm talking about, but it's a little confusing. And I said, I completely understand. I completely understand because I'm describing a lot of different things at once. So let me think about seeing if I can just do some stop, as Elvis Costello once talked about, writing about music. What is it? Stop dancing about architecture. And we have these Voltrum rules. I point you to Norbert G. Mata Tausch. If I'm slaughtering your name, sir, I apologize. The excellent Voltrum rules, a variation on his popular Land Shut role-playing rules, part of this free Kriegspiel revolution. Don't play the rules, play the world. And this diceless Voltrum variation we talked about, I've got some prior videos. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. We want to talk about getting away from the theoretical and talking about the just playing. So look, in this, let's talk about the character creation. We're numbers 1 through 6. Character, describe your hero in plain language. Write down what is important to you as a player. To give you some inspiration, archetype, that is a broad character cliche like thief, barbarian, daredevil, space pilot, gimmick, that'll be another thing. That is one ability your character has that makes them special. Okay. Then we'd have a skill, that'd be another special ability, this time one that's not obvious or immediately visible. Another thing, then equipment, then you have 3 things. You write down 3 pieces of equipment, the vehicle or creature, how they get around, and then be a house or home that they live in. And you rate these things 1 through 6. And then in any competition, conflict resolution, if in any conflict with another character or situation, compare the ability the character is using to that of the opposing side. So they have these 6 things. right, that we just ran through. And I know I ran through them quick. I understand that. I appreciate that. I refer you back to these Voltron rules for you to refer to. They're not, it's not rocket science here, people. Okay. So if you're dealing with some situation with your vehicle and you rated your vehicle, and you have one thing that you can rate it a 6. So if you've used up your 6, you can't. Everything is a 6. No. One thing you can rate it a 6, another thing you can rate it a 5, another thing you can rate it a 4. So conflict resolution, if you've got encounter a situation that you can deal with your vehicle, and you've dealt with in your vehicle is you've rated at a 5, and it's a 3 situation, well, ha cha cha cha, you ring through that bell like nobody's business. But if the contrary be true, well, then I guess you got a problem, my deal. You get the situation, you get the solution, and you're doing this without dice, right? And this is being done without dice. So that was what we were experimenting with. And what I was doing was previously with this meta RPG thing that I've been doing and relating it to this. Hold on. Of course, mom always I don't know how she does it. My mama is always calling during my live streams. I have no idea. She is not tech savvy. It's not like she's monitoring these things. Anyhow, in my meta RPG with the meta RPG spellcraft production, where we're time traveling by, if we're wanting to time travel to a specific year, we're only watching movies from a given year. We're only watching TV shows from a given year. We're only reading books from a given year. We're only playing RPGs from a given year, playing video games from a given year, etc., etc. If it was an emergency, she would text me. She just texted me, it's no problem. So you know I'm not heartless ghoul. She'd text me if there was an emergency. I'd be on it. I'm not heartless. If it was an emergency, I get it. You know what I mean? Anyhow, so what we've been doing is in these movies we're watching from in this particular thing. Don't ask me why. In preparation of 2014 coming up on the 10-year nostalgia loop, and because the first season of Rick and Morty has got 11 episodes, 8 of which are in 2014, which means, folks, we're about to cross the threshold in December of this year. It's going to be the 10-year anniversary of Rick and Morty. Now check this out. The guy that blew my gasket, M.A.R. Barker, in his mythology for Tekkamul, his made-up world, he predicted the end of the world in 2013. This person that I'm talking about who contacted me, I told them it was going to be the end of the world when we started playing this game because we were going to be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the nostalgia loop nightmare that was Rick and Morty. I'm just saying. It's just coincidences. Yo, it's just coincidence, but it's just funny. So anyway, we're making up characters based on taking, instead of just like creating these, like taking these things like archetypes and just like creating like, okay, I pick barbarian. Okay, I pick whatever. We're taking the names and we're taking the names of the pieces of equipment, the gimmick, the skill, or whatever. We're restricting ourselves to just, or I'm restricting myself to just things that I got from movies from 2014. Okay. So I'm watching the 8 episodes of Rick and Morty that aired in 2014 on a loop, like a demented maniac. And I'm watching movies like Avalanche Sharks in 2014 and taking these snippets of, you know, what we call these meta RPG spells from 2014, and these dumbass movies like Club Lingerie and Sharktopus versus Petracuda, um, and yeah, and yeah. So, and what we're gonna do is, and the pyramid, that was a gold mine. And anyway, Ragnarok coherence. Anyway, so, oh, and then also tried to get some from the movie, the game Destiny. Anyway, so here we go. But so check this out. So we've got a character I made, and so we want to go from the theoretical to actually playing this game. So what we did then was we wanted to get to kind of like a solo game sphere that we could play through. So that's when we went to and I kind of covered this in the earlier videos, the micro chapbook RPG model, where they have this model for room and door type generation, and also for monster generation. We say hello to Bucky joining us in the live chat. We say hello. What's going on, kiddo? And so, doing that same methodology, I got 5 different types of generic kind of monsters by harvesting the uh, spells from 2014, the snippets kind of cut up snapshots from 2014, media snapshots from 2014, and likewise for room types. But in this instance, they don't become like room types; they become like worlds. And likewise, the doors didn't become like doors; they became like portal types. And likewise, the ranking of things from 1 to 6, the numbers 1 through 6 didn't just become randomized number assignments on the die, they became rankings. And so for number 1 on the doors, I made that, here you see 3 plus 3 equals 6. Well, obviously that came from the Rick and Morty episode, but that becomes symbolic of it's open, right? There's no problem with that door. You just pass through like an open portal. And then the number 6, I took something from this movie called The Pyramid in 2014, and it will weigh your heart and judge. That's obviously very difficult, right? That's obviously very, very hard, right? So you see, there's a ranking of difficulties here. So just like the rankings of, from the rankings of difficulty, you get it, okay? And likewise with the room. So we got like from 1, we have Tibetan prayer flags at St. Equus. That's like a home base. That's like, everything's groovy here. That's like a rest area, rest stop. You can recharge everything, heal up and everything. And then number 2 up on the list is a world where people evolved from corn. So it's like neither here nor there, right? People could be come say, come sa. They could be positive people there. They could be, not so groovy people there. Could be whatever. You know what I mean? Deals could go bad. Deals could be good. And then number 3 is the whole place is retro coochie patrol. That was from a movie called From the Ladies of the House. A little piece of schlock. The whole place is retro coochie patrol. So it's like you still see it gets dicey. There's still gonna be like rays of sunshine there, sanctuaries. You know what I mean? Like people, hookers with a heart of gold, etc., etc. But still, generally, it's getting sleazy. And then number 4, it's a labyrinth. Ooh, you know what I mean? And then number 5, magic in the forest room. Could be good, could be bad, right? And when it gets good, it could be really, really good. When it gets bad, it could be really, really dicey. And then number 6, do you really think this world is real? You know what I mean? Again, it gets like really big, big power, right? You know what I'm saying? So again, and likewise with the big bads, number 1 is just Big Bird trapped in the Matrix, right? It's like wildlife. It's like nothing, right? Number 2 is like phone bitch, right? So it could just be like a person that's just like, if they detect you, they detect you. If you trip trip the wire, you trip the wire, or it could be indifferent to you. Number 3 is flu hating rapper, right? It's after you, right? And it's like actively a pursuing agent, like it's like looking for something. Number 4 is lady carjacker. And again, these are all things that are taken from like media instances in 2014. So, and they could be just like, and they don't always have to be the same thing. Like like when you're playing this game, it could be like you could play it like in your mind, like a very like 8-bit or 16-bit video game where like the sprites, or it's like very like original like PS1 Grand Theft Auto, like where the cops always look the same, or it could be where they are always like rendered, differently or look different. Um, and then number 5 is Doctor Murder Baby. And then number 6, which just like in Microchapbook RPG, you'd only get to number 6. You'd only get to the big bot or the big bad or the big boss after you encountered all the enemies at least once. And you'd only encounter the big bad in either probably only in number 6. Room number either room number 6 or room number 4. It's always like either one of two rooms, and that's this person, Ginger Lynn Wasabi. And again, just because they're the big bad, they all have she has the same stats, just like a full range of stats, just like a main character. Okay, so if another person came in and joined the game, that's like what this conversation with me and this other player was about, was them theoretically coming in and joining the game, but they were saying that they kind of understood what I was talking about, but they didn't fully understand. And I was like, well, I could understand because technically we haven't played the game yet. Okay, so at this point, um, we would introduce our character, which would be this gal. What's her name? Okay. Her name is like Crystal 911, Crystal 911. And her archetype is Dr. Whistleblower. That came from RoboCop 2014. And her gimmick is breaking sacred seals and barriers. That came from the movie Pyramid 2014. Well, I don't have to keep on saying 2014. Everything came from 2014. Her skill is, that's like the thing that she does, but not everyone knows about, is death, the ultimate stroke reducer. That was from Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy. That's from a Rick and Morty episode. And her equipment is metallic blue-green bikini, ovenless brownies from a beaker, and a hatchet for the unmoving. Her vehicle is Antichrist hover car, and her home base is inside a simulation. That would require some explanation, but it's not important right now. Anyway, she rates her archetype Dr. Whistleblower, which you would think is like a really, 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 really super fantastic from a moral and ethical point of view, but she only rates that as a 2, personally. She doesn't really give a crap about that. Her breaking sacred seals and barriers power, that's her highest rated thing from her point of view. That's what she gives a 6. Her skill, death, the ultimate stroke reducer, like her killing skill, like her ability to do that she rates that as a 5. That's and then her her equipment she rates as 4. Metallic blue-green bikini, ovenless brownies from a beaker. You need to know and understand that she's got her backstory includes she's got a relationship with Doofus Rick. There's backstory there. Anyway, and a hatchet for the unmoving. She's got that from that movie Pyramid. So that's like, anyway, and she rates her equipment at a 4, so that's pretty good. And the vehicle is pretty big. It's Antichrist hover car, and that comes from that movie VHS Viral. And her home base that she doesn't give a damn about is inside a simulation. Now, that is because that involves her backstory to involvement to Doofus Rick. No, I understand. I hate Rick and Morty, but there's a lot of Rick and Morty about this because Rick and Morty has got a lot to do with the end of the world and this whole thing with nostalgia, the nostalgia loop nightmare. No, I understand. No, I understand. Just because it's like the person who is obsessed with the apocalypse is not necessarily rooting for the apocalypse. That's the only way I can explain it. So we will be starting off in like our home base, and this person, I need something to like. I didn't plan this in advance, and I can only stay with you guys until a certain time. So I need someone to like represent this person like immediately now. I have no one with a metallic blue green bikini, but anyway, hmm. anyway, we would be starting off. We would, by definition, we would be starting off in Tibetan prayer flags at St. Equus. So the first thing we would do is we would have to figure out what our mechanic would be for the rolling the number of room. I forget what the mechanic for the rolling the number of rooms is, but I have copies of every single thing that Noah Patterson ever put out. Literally, I turned around and just grabbed the Academy of Mistahog, the hard copy of Academy of Mistahog off like I just literally turned around and grabbed blind and knew that I would grab something by Noah, no, friggin' Noah Patterson, and literally I was right. So just give me 2 seconds to figure out whether or not, and I could just be like rolling d20, roll like, and I'm just trying to figure out like how many doors I need to, and I need their permission to roll to frig how many to roll how many doors, what die to roll to figure out how many doors. Generate doors, roll a d3, d6. I knew it was this. I knew it was a d6 that rolled half. And I know that I have a D3 anyway. Duh, bitch, slut, you're a whore. Why won't anyone give me an interview? No one will give me an interview because you're all sluts. Anyway. Is it that they're sluts, or is it that you freak out and sorry. I'm talking to myself. And meanwhile, I'm hunting for D3, and it's like, or you can just roll a D6 and have it. Woo. 2. What's half of 2? That's a 1. Okay, so now great. Wonderful. No, why do I say, first of all, great. 2 things are great. Wonderful. I dumped all of these dice onto my paperwork. So now I got to take all of the dice and get it off of the paperwork. It's not like we're pressed for time. Wonderful. That's sweet. Great. It's like this will be distracting, making a lot of noise for my neighbors. Wonderful. So I get trying to keep things down here. You know. Okay. I know this is compelling. And, and meanwhile, and I know that in my backpack I've got like 5 D3s. Not that it would have gotten me a better number. And so here's what's great. So, and this is exactly what I was worried about. So it's not what I'm worried about. So now we're going to roll on if we've got one door out of here. And because we have just, it's a good thing that I put all of those dice back. Now we're going to roll on the number on which door we get. It's going to be one of these doors. It's number 3. Drop in loads to Zardoz Tribute. That's from the Rick and Morty episode of The Sex Robot. But here's the problem. Our young protagonist, she's a female, okay? So there's currently one door out of St. Equus. There's one door out of our home base. And it requires a sperm donor, right? But we don't have that equipment. So we need to generate another player character just to get out the fucking front door. We could generate another door, I guess. We'll just generate another door. We'll just re-roll. We'll just re-roll the doors out of here, unless we want to do something. Unless we want to do something, we got a number of possible solutions in front of us. Number one, we go back to the proverbial hospital of St. Equus and we say, "Excuse me, we need to borrow a cup of whatever." Easy, not a problem. In fact, one has to figure token stasis, maybe get rid of the sperm donor rule or whatever. I would not do that, and I'll tell you why. Why do that? It's like when I'm thinking, like, I've already come up with a solution. There's a hospital there. Just we're gonna go back and we're just gonna get the required donation. I would suggest that your little thing, not to judge you, but it's kind of like, just get rid of this. Like, what do we just like? You just like, when you like, you just give up. Also, your kiss ass. And this is the way I treat my friends. First of all, you're my friend now. I don't know. Maybe must have been. Anywho, so we go back. We say, okay. And first of all, we do have a 6 in breaking sacred seals and barriers, but it's a 6 in breaking sacred seals and barriers. We're just going to assume that we went back. Assuming that all things are possible at St. Equus. So we got the required tribute. We moved on down the hall. Now, this is a demonstration, so I'm not worried about taking notes or keeping secure notes now. So we passed through that door. If I was keeping a secure notes or big notes here, I'd mark that room there. Mark that door open now. So now having passed through that door, we generate the next room. Oh, baby. 5. Magic in the forest room. So now we're in the forest room. And the forest room is number 5. So we're just, because what's going to happen now is we got to figure out the enemy, let's not necessarily call it an enemy, the entity that we're going to encounter at number 5. Okay? So, presumably, whatever conflict that will occur, if any conflict that will occur, will involve the dispensation between whatever appropriate skill, number would be, whatever appropriate skill would be invoked on my character sheet, its corresponding number. The number of the entity we roll for, right, we get, and perchance modified for the magic in the force room, whatever that case may be. I don't know if that we may decide that Again, this is all. This is not a game of Pathfinder or Mathfinder, as the case may be. This is not D&D 5e. This is the place where we let our minds be free. Let us roll the dice and see. 5. It's Dr. Murder Baby. This is Dr. Okay, we better run. It's Dr. Murder Baby's Magic in the Forest room. We're in the Magic Forest room with the Dr. Murder Baby. What are we gonna do? What do we do? There's no oracle to to relate to. And there's 5 across the board. 5, 5, 5. You know what we're gonna relate to. You know what you know what we're gonna ask. That's like a Liber null question. That's like right. That's like a Liber. That's like a 777 question. Like 5, 5, 5, baby. Right. That's Dr. Murder Baby's 5. It's Magic in the Forest room. We entered in drop-in loads that we like basically cheese through the door on a horse sperm jack in. And excuse me, death is the ultimate stroke reducers, I guess, is our skill that we're going to be bringing to the table to this death hunt at a 5. Plus, I guess we add our equipment, right? I mean, what do we do? Our skill is our murder skill is 5, dude. So we'd be coming up against Dr. Murder Baby at a 5 against its 5. But yo, our hatchet for the unmoving is part of our equipment list, which we rated a 4, dude. What do we come on, dude. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Is that if is are we gonna call that a roll? I mean, we might be calling that a roll. We might be calling that a roll. We might be calling that a roll. What? Look at this. Just because she's in combat form. I don't have a Doctor Murder Baby. Well, I'm trying because I don't have any. I don't have anyone that's in the metallic blue green bikini. Maybe that's closer. Maybe that's like well, no, that's it's maybe it's more of a hatchet. Hold on, but then I need the Murder Baby. Hold on. My kingdom for a Murder Baby, and I'm coming up against the time, guys. Hold on. Oh shoot! Hold on. Wait. Give me a second. Got a Murder Baby. Hold on. Oh man, all my Grogu's. All my Grogu's. Oh, that's gonna throw off the scale. Okay, hold on. Wait, well, I can't be a perfectionist. Okay, there you go. Inappropriate use of this term. The perfect is the enemy of the good. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So here's the way I gotta call it, man. sorry. So Dr. Murder Baby, symbolized here by Lego Pirate Man, okay? He's coming at the kingdom with 5, right? And our gal, she's got killing is her business is good. She's got Death, the ultimate stroke reducer at 5. Plus, she's got a hatchet for the unmoving in her equipment list with her equipment rated at 4, dude. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not going to go ahead and call that a 9, but I'm going to have to give her like some sort of like +1, right? On some sort of like 2d6 opposed roll or some shit, man. You know what I mean? We got to do something like that. We're gonna have to call that a +1 on a 2d6 opposed. You know what I mean? We just gotta do. Hold on, wait. And we'll just be keeping these out. Hold on. Wait. We'll just be keeping these out. Hold on. We got this. We got this now, yo. Yo, we got this now. Yo, we got this now. Now, technically, we could be doing. Now, if we want to be doing this, like, okay. Now, technically, if we want to be doing this, like, totally diceless, we would just be looking at this. Would be like 5-5 across the board. Would be like, but what would we do? And then we would just like go, well, you know that she's got the 4 on the equipment, and then we would just be like, she's got it. Really, that's what we would do. But I'm just curious. Now, look. So we got 2 sets of dice, 2d6. And I would just give her like a +1 on the opposed roll. But check this out, man. I was honestly calling the redwoods her. I was honestly calling the redwoods her. And that would have been a queefed roll, totally. Right? Which honestly just goes to show. But then if we would just be like that first round, he'd be like, what? Whatever, dude. Just like action. She'd be like, what? Murder baby. What? Let's come back again. See what happens. You gotta be kidding me. Even giving you the +1 on that, that's like a foul. It's like he, you know what I mean? Like he totally, that's like, what? That's almost like, oh, that's vicious. That's almost like you gotta like score some sort of vicious penalty, like gets captured by murder baby. Right? That has to be something terrible. That has to be like you almost have to be like you almost like have to like you lose your hatchet. You know what I mean? Like you just like any you don't get the bonus. Like you lose the hatchet. You just don't get like whatever any sort of bonus we were talking about on that prior is gone. You're like, what? Actually lost the hatchet. Totally lost the hatchet. And now it's even Stevens and it's better come down to a roll because you got nothing. At least now you're rolling better. You got a 6. Actually, no. Just even distribution. What are you doing? What are you doing? That you're wrestling? You're wrestling with Dr. Murder Baby. Come on. What is this, a dance with Dr. Murder Baby? And she's feeling it too. She came into this game like thinking that whatever. Finally. And I say finally because what? You're bringing like 1 point of push. 1 point of push. You've like you're bringing 1 point of push. Oh my god! Look at this bullshit. You're bringing 1 point of push, and then you're getting 1 point of push back. Yo, go back home to St. Equus, kid. Why don't you go back home to St. Equus? Yo! What are you doing, kid? This is why this was supposed to be diceless. But when you come up even Stevens, ah, 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 ah. This is why we need people to play with us. Because we're lockstep here with the murder baby. What are we supposed to be joining forces with you, murder baby? Later for that. Go away. He won't. Okay, I got another idea. We have to think about this another way. And I have to go soon. So here's the other way we gotta do this. We have to think our way through this. We have to think our way through Dr. Murder Baby. I have to remember. I have to think. I have to think like Scorn. No, 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 no. Don't, no, 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 no. Listen. You do not need to play Deer Hunter. You do not need to play Truck Simulator. Okay, I've got this under control. Okay, all I have to do is think. If think, what would Jim Perkins do? All I have to do is think of a maneuver. Hey, Dr. Murder Baby. No, seriously. Listen, Dr. Murder Baby. I'm gonna read you some combat maneuvers from 2014. Okay? I'm gonna read you some combat maneuvers from 2014. And you say you oh no. I know I'm gonna do this. I know I'm gonna do this. No, but honestly, this is I, here. Tolkien study. Give me a number between 1 and 7. And Bucky, give me a number between 1 and 10. And I need it like now. Tolkenstein needed a number between 1 and 7. Okay. And Buck needed a number between 1 and 10. Okay. Now listen. Listen to me, Dr. Murder Baby. Would you like to receive the damage from my next blow, or would you like to be the DJ who can spin with no equipment at all? Okay, now I'm gonna roll for his reaction. Okay, now a 1 or 2 is a rejection of my offer. A 3 or a 4 is indifference, and a 5 or a 6 is acceptance. He accepts. It was a 5. He accepts. You'd rather be the DJ who spins with no equipment at all. And there you go. All right. Thank you, sir. Very pleased to meet you. It's a pleasure doing business with you. You're now the DJ who can spin with no equipment at all. There you go. No longer Dr. Murder Baby. Peace be upon you. There you go. And now listen, folks. Because we had to do something. And anyway, now listen. When I was thinking of translating the rules of the lining up things from, like, from replacing aspects of the micro chapbook RPG with things from, lines, items sourced from the meta RPG spellcraft generating process. I thought about the items list, because there's a methodology in micro chapbook RPG for the generation of rewards of items, monetary gifts, gold, as well as magical stuff as well. And I thought about going into the minutia of whether or not to pick items for particular instances of the meta RPG game like this, like we picked enemies. Should we go down to the minutia of figuring out what would be good examples or stand-ins for healing potions or mana replacement potions? I thought, well, no, maybe just like this, like we just did, it would be best if every instance of we resolve something will then roll spontaneously, and it will either be another encounter or another quest or another moment of respite or something else. Bucky Wilkins, who needs a mind flayer when you've got Professor TJs? And if we were noting this, we could note that in this world now, if we were doing a more professional playthrough, though I have noted that we did use the spell, so I crossed it off. When we do play this meta RPG, we play it to the bone. It is real life fantasy and magic. We use the spell, we cast off the spell, we burn the spell. So, yeah, but no. So we've just resolved this. We did this enemy encounter. So now we're going to, well, the world is richer. Technically, we created an item, because one thing we could have done is we could have recruited him into our party. but we'll let him go, and we'll just roll for an item. I have a online, well, on my phone generator, so I can do this, and then I must be going. Then I'll do a card real quick, and then I must be going. So I'll do a spontaneous. I'll move to a spontaneous page of 2014 Michigas. And I thank you all who have joined me in the chat, who have joined me for this live stream. Thank you all, thank you all, thank you all. I need a D7 roll. Okay. Wait. No. Clear. Okay. A cowboy version of me. Now I'm not going to burn it off because we're not going to do it because we're going to have to end the playthrough now. But anyone who was at home and thinking about joining the hypothetical playthrough that I'm planning on doing, this is what we were going to be doing. This is the game that we're going to be playing. It'll be like this, but with a group of people. Huh? Huh? If you want to join, send me an email. c.w.chanter@gmail.com. Jonaside, this is the game we'll be playing. But at a later time frame for you and other people. If you want to play, send me an email. Okay? This is the game we'll be playing like this. This is the game. But I gotta go. But here you go. Enjoy the Egyptian Tarot for the time it is still apropos. We will be entering a new time zone, don't you know? That's why we're talking about 2014 partially as we go. The Knave of Chalices, Earth of Water. Taking note of what's new in your emotions and feelings. Keep a journal. Pay attention to your feelings and what's going on. Information comes from all sorts of places, and it can come from the inside as well. Listen to what other people have to tell you about what they're feeling. There's all sorts of weather to be read and all sorts of forecasts to pay attention to if you want to stay out of the rain. And avoiding bad weather is something that's important to you. I love you, I love you, I love you. If no one told you they loved you today, somebody just did. That's somebody's CW Chanter. And he's inviting you to play a game. If there's aspects of the game that you don't understand, let me know in the comment section below. You are invited to play the game. You are invited to play the game. Time travel is real and possible. Talk to you soon.